May-June 2025, Paper 3, Variant 2. Question 1. Figure 1.1 shows the speed time graphs for two racing cars, X and Y, beginning at the beginning of a race. Using the information, state which car, X or Y, had a greater acceleration. It's quite obvious that racing car X had a greater acceleration. Why? Because it had a steeper slope. Determine the speed of car Y at 10 seconds. So at 10 seconds, the speed of car Y was less than 25. So this would be 24 meters per second. Each small square is worth 0.5. Can I find the distance traveled by car X from 0 to 4? So from 0 to 4 by car X, this is a triangle. You need to find the area under the graph. From 0 to 4, and the height would be 22. So you need to write down area under the graph. This is the area of a triangle, so it's half times base times height, which is half times 4 times 22, which gives you a distance of 44 meters. Figure 1.2 shows the directions of four forces. What is force C and what is force D? C is the weight, and D would be air resistance, or you could say friction as well. The racing car is decelerating, so if it's decelerating and the value of D is 2800, deceleration means that the resistive forces are greater than the driving force, so basically you need any number less than 2800. So you might say 2000 newtons, which is less than 2800 newtons. Okay, some buildings are built on large, strong metal rods. Calculate the mass of this heavy hammer. Can I find the mass if I have the weight? Yes, the mass would be equal to the weight divided by the gravitational acceleration. So 25,000 divided by 9.8, which is roughly 2,550. Can I find the work done? Yes, the work done would be equal to the force times the distance moved. The force is the weight, which is 25,000 divided by the distance, which is 0.72, giving you a total of 18,000 joules. The heavy hammer falls onto the metal rod and pushes it into the ground. Describe the energy changes. Can I find the energy transfers? Yes. Initially, it had gravitational potential energy. Okay, gravitational potential energy. It transfers to kinetic energy. You might say kinetic. And you can say, for example, and sound or thermal energy. Question 3. She wants to find the weight of this block. Okay, the ruler is now balancing horizontally. Can I find the weight of the metal block? Yes, you can find the weight by saying that the clockwise moment would be equal to the anti-clockwise moment. The clockwise moment would be the force times the perpendicular distance, which is equal to the force times the perpendicular distance on the other side, or in other words, you might say weight times 0.21 equals 1.5 times 0.44, right? You need to divide by 0.21. This will give you a total weight of 3.14 newtons. A different metal block is lying on the ground as shown. The weight of this block is 890 newtons. Can I find the pressure? Yes, I can find the pressure. Pressure would be equal to the force divided by the area. The force is 890 newtons. What is the area? The area would be if you multiply these two numbers by each other. So 0.18 times 0.54. This will give you a total pressure of 9,100 and you can say 60. 9,160 newtons per meter squared. Complete the sentences about the kinetic energy. The movement of the particles in a gas is fast and random. The forces between the gas particles are weak. The gas exerts a pressure because the moving gas particles collide. We know that they collide with the walls. With the walls. As the temperature decreases, the pressure decreases as well. The lowest possible temperature in Celsius is negative 273 degrees Celsius, which is also known as the absolute zero. Okay, absolute zero. Question 5. Can I find the frequency of the wave? Yes, the frequency would be equal to the speed divided by the wavelength. The speed is 18 divided by 1.2. This gives you a frequency of 15 hertz. State the name of the process shown. So you have red light. A red light, as it passes through the glass, it would refract. Okay, so it's only refraction. No dispersion happens here. Dispersion happens in this question because you have white light. So when white light goes into the glass prism, it disperses. Can I draw the dispersion? Yes, I can draw the dispersion. You can say, for example, that this is the red light and this would be the purple or violet light, not the purple. Okay, and then as it goes out, okay, let me draw it a little bit more accurately. Okay, it spreads even more. This is the red light, and this is the violet light. Roy Gibev. Red is the least refracted, and violet is the most refracted. So I have a dull surface and a shiny surface. Thermometers X and Y are the same distance from the bottle. The room temperature is 20. The teacher pours very hot water into the bottle. The reading on thermometer X is 24. Explain why the readings are not the same. Why is not 24? Why? We know that Y is less than 24. But again, why is Y not 24? Because black surfaces, okay, black surfaces are the best. What? You cannot say absorbers. In this question, you need to say best emitters of infrared radiation. Infrared radiation. Again, if you say they are the best emitters of heat, it would be wrong. You need to say that they are the best emitters of infrared radiation. Thermometer Y would be less than X and probably above the room temperature. So if you say something like 22 degrees Celsius, it would be acceptable. Soon demonstrate convection. Okay, so he wants to demonstrate convection liquid. He has some water, a glass beaker, and some colored crystals. These crystals dissolve in warm water. Can I describe the convection? Can I describe the experiment? And if you want to draw, you can draw. So, how can I draw this diagram? So, you have the beaker. Inside the beaker, you'd have these small crystals, and then you have the water inside the beaker. This beaker is above the tripod, and you have the candle beneath the beaker. And then you can light on the candle. So, what should you do? Add the crystals to the beaker. You need to add, okay, the crystals to the beaker. and then add water, okay, to the beaker, to the beaker, and then what should you do? Heat it on top, okay, heat it on top of the tripod, right? And then watch the crystals as they dissolve. That's all you need to do. Watch the crystals as they dissolve and move in hot water. Okay, play sticks. Sound waves, aren't they longitudinal? Yes, they are. Microwaves, they are transverse, they are electromagnetic, and they can travel through the vacuum. Scientists have placed reflectors on the moon. Okay, they use these reflectors to measure the distance between Earth and the moon. Scientist, okay, so he places this reflector. The ray takes total time of 2.5 seconds to travel from the observer, from the lab all the way to the reflector and back to Earth, right? Calculate the distance. Can I find the distance? Yes, I can find the distance. This is an echo. This is an echo. So in echoes, to find the distance, it would be the speed times time, but divided by 2. The speed of light is 3 times 10 to the power of 8 times the time taken, which is 2.5, divided by 2, which is 3.8 times 10 to the power of 8 meters. Almost 380,000 kilometers. State 1 use of ultraviolet radiation. Ultraviolet rays can be used to detect fake banknotes. One harmful effect of ultraviolet rays is the damage to the eyes. Figure 8.1 shows the mains powered electric heater fixed on a bathroom wall. Suggests why a pull cord is safer than a push switch. So this pull cord, you just pull on this cord and it switches on the heater. Why is it better than a switch? Because it would avoid, okay, to avoid electric shock in damp conditions. If there is any water or whatever, it could cause electric shock. What is X? X is a fuse. What is Y? Y is a motor. So you have the information for this heater, you have the power, you have the voltage. Can I find the current? Yes, the current would be equal to the power divided by the voltage. 2000 divided by 230, which is 8.7 amps. What is the combined resistance of these two resistors? It would be 60. The reading on the ammeter is 0.2 amps. Can I find the potential difference? V equals IR, potential difference. So the current is 0.2 and the resistance is 20, giving you a potential difference of 4 volts. Student uses a voltmeter to measure the potential difference across the 20 ohm resistor. Can I draw the voltmeter? Yes, I can draw the voltmeter. You can either draw it above the resistor or below the resistor. Suggest a value for the combined resistance of these two resistors. We say that the combined resistance of two resistors in parallel is less than the least resistor. The least resistor is 20. So whatever value less than 20 would be correct. So if you say 15 ohms, would this be correct? Yes, it would be. If you say 10, if you say 11, 12, whatever, any value less than 20 would be okay. Question 10. State the number of protons. Number of protons would be 86. Can I find the number of neutrons? Yes, it's 222 minus 86, which is 136 neutrons. A sample containing 60 milligrams decays to 7.5 milligrams in 11.5 days. Can I find the half-life? Yes, I can find the half-life. You need to divide 60 by 2 to be 30. Divide by 2 again, 15. Divide by 2 again, 7.5. So it took 3 half-lives. 3 half-lives to go from 60 milligrams to 7.5 milligrams. These 3 half-lives happened in 11.5 days. So if you divide 11.5 by 3, this would be 3.8 days. So after 3.8 days, divide by 2, and then another 3.8 days, divide by 2, and then again, divide by 2. We need 2 other sources that make significant contribution to the background radiation. Background radiation, such as food, you can say rocks, you can say cosmic rays from the sun or from whatever. You have many sources of background radiation. Okay, figure 11.1 shows the solar system. Can I complete the 3 missing labels? So you have Mercury, then Venus, Earth and Mars, then Jupiter. The sun consists mainly of 2 elements, which are hydrogen and helium. The sun radiates energy mainly in 3 regions. Ultraviolet is one of them. State one of the other 2 regions. The other 2 regions are the visible light and the infrared radiation. Scientists use the Big Bang theory to explain why the universe or how the universe began. State one piece of evidence that supports the Big Bang theory. One piece of evidence would be the red shift. This explains why the universe is expanding. Complete the following sentences. In space, there are clouds of dust and gas. Right? Dust and gas. The material spins around and moves closer due to the force of gravity. This forms an accretion disk. So this accretion disk happens due to the gravity, and there are clouds of dust and gas. Okay? Okay.